Over the edge, feel like I'm floating through the air. The pain I felt is paid for, all is said and done. Oh, I am restricted, fixed upon the web. I need to kick the habit that my mind is breathing in. Break out, I've got to see. Burning the bridge that keeps us. I'm here and I'm feeling fearless. Exaggerated, that's what you assume. The story's over now, I must conclude. I am conflicted, watching where I step still, hanging in the balance. Not the life I want to live, I want to take it all. Standing tall, fear outweighed the person you are. Oh, break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless. Over the edge, feel like I'm floating through the air. The pain I felt is paid for, all is said and done. Oh, I am restricted, fixed upon the web. I need to kick the habit that my mind is breathing in. Break out, I've got to see. Played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless. Burning the bridge that keeps us. I'm here and I'm feeling fearless. Exaggerated, that's what you assume. The story's over now, I must conclude. I am conflicted, watching where I step still, hanging in the balance. Not the life I want to live, I want to take it all. Standing tall, fear outweighed the person you are. Oh, break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless. Over the edge, feel like I'm floating through the air. The pain I felt is paid for, all is said and done. Oh, I am restricted, fixed upon the web. I need to kick the habit that my mind is breathing in. Break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless. Burning the bridge that keeps us. I'm here and I'm feeling fearless. Exaggerated, that's what you assume. The story's over now, I must conclude. I am conflicted, watching where I step still, hanging in the balance. Not the life I want to live, I want to take it all. Standing tall, fear outweighed the person you are. Oh, break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless. over the edge. Feel like I'm floating through the air. The pain I felt is paid for, all is said and done. Oh, I am restricted, fixed upon the web. I need to kick the habit that my mind is breathing in. Break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless. Burning the bridge that keeps us. I'm here and I'm feeling fearless. Exaggerated, that's what you assume. The story's over now, I must conclude. I am conflicted, watching where I step still, hanging in the balance. Not the life I want to live, I want to take it all. Standing tall, fear I've weighed the person you are. Oh, break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless. Over the edge, feel like I'm floating through the air. The pain I felt is paid for, all is said and done. Oh, I am restricted, fixed upon the web. I need to kick the habit that my mind is breathing in. Break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless. Burning the bridge that keeps us. I'm here and I'm feeling fearless. Exaggerated, that's what you assume. The story's over now, I must conclude. I am conflicted, watching where I step still, hanging in the balance. Not the life I want to live, I want to take it all. Standing tall, person you are. Oh, break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless. Over the edge, feel like I'm floating through the air. The pain I felt is paid for, all is said and done. Oh, I am restricted, fixed upon the web. I need to kick the habit that my mind is breathing in. Break out, I've got to see. Burning the bridge that keeps us. I'm here and I'm feeling fearless. Exaggerated, that's what you assume. The story's over now, I must conclude. I am conflicted, watching where I step still, hanging in the balance. Not the life I want to live, I want to take it all. Standing tall, fear outweighed the person you are. Oh, break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless.
All right. Hey guys. Hopefully some of you are having a good day. I know I am, even though crypto took a little bit of a dive. Large caps took a little bit of a dive, as you can see on my screen. But I look at it this way. They're just giving back to the rest of the community because Tesla had a great day. This isn't even where it landed. PayPal did well. There's a bunch of smaller, unloved investments that got a lot of love today. So this is great. This is the kind of stuff I want to see. Hopefully you guys can all hear me good. I'm trying to dual stream right now, so I'm doing X and I'm doing YouTube. So this is pretty weird for me, but I'm going to try and make it happen. Now, Let me know if there's anything wrong with the stream, if anything goes bad. Now, looking at the Russell 2000 over here, you can see how great of a day today was. Oh, sorry, somebody's calling me. I got to turn that off. You can see how good of a day it was. So let's just pull this up here. Did we make a new 52-week high? Is that even 52 weeks? I don't know. April 2022. It looks like we didn't get a new high on this, but this is beautiful. This is exactly what I want to see. You can see where we broke down. We had this resistance zone. We broke back down over here after breaking out, turned it into support, and then went up, and now we're above the fib, and I'm willing to bet we keep running, or at least we establish a base there. So this is good stuff. Wide market breadth is what you want to see. Next here, Tesla. Oh my God, 6.22%. Okay, so real quick. I said in a previous post, let me see, I don't know if I have the post, but I said in a previous post that Tesla would either be doing a bear flag and going down, or we'd go back up. I think we made our decision. So I'm really happy right now that I bought a bunch of Tesla calls. That seems to be turning out well. I bought Rivian too. Also not a bad trade. I think they're up 5.25 today. The account is probably up, I don't know, it's kind of hard to tell. It hasn't settled yet, but probably 70 grand or 75 maybe across all of them. Again, the big winners, ARCG today. This isn't all of it, but this is most of my account. 31,000, that's beautiful. You can see the miners got hit. That's cool. I mean, that's bound to happen. They've run like almost 200%. I mean, you're going to probably get a retrace. I got lucky on that. I freaked out about Riot earlier. Wasn't as bad as I thought, but on a cool note, it gave me a bunch of cash. So this little retrace isn't bothering me as much. Like I said, I just looked at it as serendipity. So that's going all right for me right now. And that limited some of my losses. And then Ethereum is actually starting to pop, which is great. We're seeing continued breakout in that. Here, let me pull it up real quick. As you can see here, I was talking about this in yesterday's market recap, that this thing was ready for launch. It is continuing that launch. And it looks like even for a little bit there, we got, almost to my next alert line. So I see us run into the .382. I don't think it'll take a long time to do that. You got to remember, Ethereum has just been lagging like crazy. It's been lagging the miners. It's been lagging Solana and a bunch of cryptos. It's taken its turn. That's kind of how these things work. All right. Real quick, I want to run through economic data. If you guys see how earnings do for coin too, let me know if I'm yapping here. So big thing for today. I'm going to skip, here, let me just zoom in a little bit too. I'm going to skip month over month. I don't care about month over month. Month over month is garbage data to me. You don't get to see the trend. Why would I care about month over month? So we'll skip that. Initial jobless claims were good. New York Empire State Manufacturing was good. And when I say good, it was better. It was -2, and the forecast was -14 or 15. That's a good sign. Philly Fed, 5.2. Previous was -10.6. Forecast for -8, -9. That's good too. Continuing jobless claims for February. These were a little bit higher, and there's a little bit of a trend. We'll jump into that in a little bit, of this kind of, I don't know, plateauing a little bit at a higher level than it was, 6-9 months ago. Export prices, these are positive. They're actually still in the red, or I should say still negative. And at least the export prices was negative towards expectations, and import was just a little bit higher. So they're actually probably kind of a wash. But they are starting to trend back to the baseline of 0. So that could maybe be something where we start to see like hints of inflation in these things. But there's so much dragging down the inflation number, I don't think it's a big deal. All right, jobless claims, 4-week average. Again, a little bit higher than expected, not much. We'll look at that in a chart here in a second. And then all the Philly Fed data, which was kind of all over the place. Some of it was good, some of it was bad. CapEx, business conditions were okay. But then employment, new orders, prices paid, all that stuff was low. We'll jump into a couple of these real quick just to give you an indication. So again, the retail sales was probably the biggest thing in this, right? Let's just go to that real fast. Retail sales, you could see, took a pretty massive dive. But I know I saw like Zero Hedge posting about this. He was posting some, scare porn about this being the lowest or steepest drop since the pandemic. I mean, not really. And that was way worse. And there's actually a steeper drop over here. So not even remotely factual. And again, it's going down and it's getting close to zero, but I don't know, reverting to the mean is probably pretty normal, and holiday sales were good, so it doesn't surprise me that retailers are getting hit a little bit in February. I mean, that's kind of seasonal anyway. Snowstorm made me late for this. Oh, bummer, man. You got to talk to somebody about that. All right, real quick. So that was the retail sales year over year. Whoa, I don't like this view. It's kind of a little weird. A little better. So that was the retail sales year over year. That was a big one. There's a couple of these that I haven't caught because I was running all over the place. Let's look. So we kind of walked through these other ones up here. I will show you a couple of things. Just the trend. Oh, no, I can't see it in that one anyway. Year over year. Okay. Export and import. So you can see how the trend, how we had kind of a trough already in 2023, probably about summertime. So the chance of us going back up and having some of these prices get higher is pretty decent. If nothing else, just off a bounce. Same with import prices. You can see, but still, these aren't bad numbers at all. And this is way better than even pre-pandemic. We were trending in, the positives, and then we had a massive spike during the pandemic, and it's just not that bad now. So I'm not even remotely worried about inflation. Don't care about the jobs data. Employment, let's look at a couple of these real quick. Philly Fed employment, that is a steep drop. It is into the negative. Not a super great sign if you're in Philly. Let's look over here. So there's the pandemic data. Yeah, this is a pretty steep drop. This is definitely one to keep an eye on, especially since it's employment data. Let's look at new orders. New orders, I actually think, was getting better. So if you look here, so new orders actually looks like it might be having a rounding bottom here and starting to go higher. So I'm not as scared about that number. Let me see here. Prices paid. Again, let's see what they're doing in Philly. What are they paying for prices? How crazy is this? It's not that crazy based upon history. Not a number we care about. All right. Industrial production. Let me see if I can find some actual year over year. Let's go to capacity utilization. That looks pretty much in line. A little bit lower. Losing some efficiency there. Manufacturing, production, month over month, year over year. Okay. Yeah. Drifting down a little bit. Nothing close to the pandemic. And pretty close to historic norms before the pandemic. So not much to see there. Business inventories here. I haven't seen this one yet. This is for December. They're spiking. So retail sales down, business inventories up. Nothing crazy there. And I don't care about the rest of this. All right, moving on. I don't think we have much going on in the commodity world. The dollar's weak today. The oil tried to go up a little bit. Let me grab that one real quick. You can see where oil tried to go up. It closed above the 50 on the weekly, so maybe it's going to trend a little bit higher. I still think this one's breaking down. I think it's just gasping for air. All right, let me go back here. So we did the dollar. We did oil. Real quick. Yeah, it looks like a bunch of the miners are down in after hours. Again, I think the premise of today, and I'll start to go to chat here in a second. I think the premise of today is coins down, volatile. It's not down too much. We'll have to see here what the earnings data looks like in a second. But I think the premise of today, and we're probably going to jump over and see how coin's doing with earnings and see how IRES Energy's doing on earnings here in a second. But the thing I wanted to get across is that some of the retail data looks weak. We're starting to see some I would say softening around the economy. That's okay. We're not seeing anything crazy yet, but I do think it's going to make the case that we could still lower rates in May. And I think that we're seeing market breadth and the market's positive. There's this old adage about the market climbing the wall of worry, and I think that's exactly what it's doing. When the majority of people for the second year in a row are betting on an economic catastrophe, and they didn't make any money last year, and then now they're like, oh, I'm definitely going to do well this year. And then they're realizing that it's still taking off, all of it, right? all of it. And so, and even these large caps that gave some back today is nothing for them. It's nothing at all. And then at the same time, all these small caps benefit because they've been illiquid for years. So this is the market you want for making money. This is great. I talked about this yesterday. We're going to slosh back and forth. The money's got to move, right? There's the next hot thing. Like, okay, chips have run forever. Time to take a breather. Palantir did a great job. Ran hard. It's at 25.39 and after hours. Maybe it goes up more, but probably not. Again, it's like $55 billion company or something. People are looking around and they're saying, okay, my stuff's slowing down. Somebody's talking about this over here. Should I hop into it? And we're going to see more of that. We're going to see liquidity moving around, which is great because it can really, really move prices. People don't realize this. They think a market cap has to have $1 billion injected into it to go up $1 billion. It doesn't work that way. A couple hundred million could raise it by $1 billion. Why? Because the market's deciding the new price. And that can happen in an instant with low volume. So if there's anything I can get across to you guys, it's that when things have been illiquid for years, like PayPal, like Hood, like a lot of cryptocurrencies, like a lot of things that haven't really run, like these small caps I got up in front of me right now. When that happens for years and then money flows into it, maybe one at a time or a batch at a time, you're going to see these things scream higher and it won't take as much money as you think. So make sure you're thinking about this. This is very important. It's something you got to understand. Johnny, coin earnings. Sure, we can do some coin earnings. Let me look over here real quick. Give me a second to see if they're even out. Nope, I don't see anything. Anybody see the coin earnings? Let me do this. I will go over here and I will see if we can find coin. How's everybody doing today? Hopefully you guys are making money too. I had a good day. I think I made like 75K. And I, out of dumb luck, I sold a bunch of Riot. So I ended up selling almost $200,000, 160K in Riot, and then about 40 that I sold in Clean Spark, maybe 30. So maybe it was like 190K. But it was good. Everyone reporting numbers. All right, so coin is it still down? Still down. All right, let's see. Is there any news? Earnings out. EPS 104 versus 001 negative. Higher sales. Q1 subscription revenue 410 to 480 million. So these don't look like bad numbers at all. Yeah, it's probably just waiting for the earnings call. Let me see if I can get on that. Let's see, there's the 10Q earnings call. Let me see what we got on here. Oh, this is just the nitty gritty. This is their actual financials I'm looking at. Just one second here. Earnings call transcript, shareholder letter. What do we got there? Maybe that's something we want to look at. Oh, I might have to do this. I like dark mode. It's my jam. Let me see here. Oh, is this thing actually? One second. Let me just see. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I was going to say, something looked off. All right. Why did you sell Riot? Oh, I posted about it earlier. I thought that their January data, well, I should say this. I thought their quarterly data had come out, which was completely off. And that they had done a lot less for mining than I thought they had. It was wrong, probably by like, I don't know, a couple of X. But I had already sold, and I was like, you know what? They're not as good of a miner. They have like 2 exahash less than CleanSpark now. They were about the same market cap, and they're producing less Bitcoin. They've got more inefficient equipment. They do curtail, so they do get revenue from energy. But I don't know. From everything I know about CleanSpark's management team, I just think it's the better investment, and I think it's going to do a lot better. I joined late. What did I miss for IREN? I don't know. Coin's flying. It's up 1%, if that's flying. Let's take a look here. We're going to check IREN in a second. We're going to go through coin real quick first. Let me see. Can I get this window out of here? I want to be at this window. Just collapse that. All right, maybe I can do this. Nope, that doesn't work very well. Okay, so let's look here. Net revenue, 623. So revenue didn't really climb. Net loss was lower. Love that. Subscription and services, up. Transaction expenses, up 15%. Technology and development. Am I looking at the right one? Is this Q3? Wait a second here. Give me a sec, guys. Being an idiot. Let me make sure I got the right one. 4th. There we go. That's better. 1 second here. Jesus. Such an amateur. Can you tell I've been YouTubing for a month? All right. I'm just going to... Give me 1 second here. I'm going to register real quick for this conference call in case we want to hop in. And then we're going to pull up the right shareholder letter. And it looks like I can zoom in with this one, which is cool. Okay. All right. Am I in? Am I in? Am I in? All right. No, I don't care about that. Thank you for registering. You will receive a reminder by the day. Okay. Let me go back over here to email. 1 second here. Sorry, guys. I know I'm a noob. I'll get used to this stuff eventually. Oh, you're right. I'm in the wrong one. All right. 1 sec. Looking up coin. 8% in after hours. Sweet. Let me pull that up while I'm trying to get this earnings call up. Yeah, so you're right. We got a little bit of a bounce. It looks like we were selling initially, and now we're going back up. That's what we want to see. All right, let me see. Webcast link. Let me get that. Oh, I got to add it to my stupid calendar. Just a second. Let me jump through all these hoops. Oh, this thing doesn't even come on till 4:30. We got a ton of time on the conference call. We'll see if we do it. So let's just go through and look at this and see what we got here. All right. Building for growth. 2023. Oh, I hate the layout of this so much. Let's read it. In 2023, we saw our operational rigor pay off. Here, 1 sec. I'm going to bring my screen up so I can see what's going on. Our operational rigor pay off. We achieved our financial goal, launched a new innovative products, strengthened our competitive position, and doubled down on our efforts to create momentum for a workable regulatory framework for crypto in the U.S. This is a lot of blah. Full year, we generated net income of $95 million and a positive adjusted EBITDA in all 4 quarters, totaling nearly $1 billion, consistent with our financial goal to generate positive adjusted EBITDA in all market conditions. We diversified for full year 2023, total revenue base of $3.1 billion by generating $1.4 billion in subscription and services revenue. Meanwhile, our balance sheet strengthened as we increased our total USD resources to $5.7 billion while simultaneously reducing total debt by 12. That is a good number. Acquired licenses, registrations, or launched operations in 6 new markets. That's cool. We'll focus on 3 main priorities. First, driving revenue through improving our core trading and USDC. Again, those stable coins, guys, I'm telling you, people don't realize how much you can make off of stable coins, but Coinbase does and PayPal does. Lastly, we will continue to drive regulatory clarity for the industry. That's good. We need it. All told, Coinbase is fundamentally stronger company today than a year ago, and we're in a strong financial position to capitalize on the operations ahead. I hate the way they have this chart. We're going to skip that. Building a business long term. Okay, they got a bunch of points here. I want to look at the actual finance. All right, so let's see. Q4, 905. Nice jump in net revenue. Net income, wow, way better. Finally making money. $273 million. Love it. Adjusted EBITDA, 305. That's great. These guys are going to do so good. Between the Bitcoin ETFs, they're going to do amazing. And then at the same time, they've got, the stable coin. They've got new markets. They've got FASB rules that are probably helping these numbers a lot right now. That's why we had the high net revenue and net income and adjusted EBITDA. This is great. Consumer, institutional. transaction revenue. So the institutional wasn't that high. That's interesting. Oh, no, wait, I'm wrong. Let me take a look. Huge jump, 3x. I got to get used to the way they draw these out. I never follow these guys. Yeah, so 3x almost from the previous. 2.5. Consumer net grew, though, too. You know, about 80%. So these are good. Institutional growing more totally makes sense. Subscriptions are picking up. I know I'm paying for Coinbase One, I think, now. So I can see a lot of people doing that. They're probably going to do really well. Blockchain rewards, 95.1. I don't even know if I know that. Is that staking? Is that what this is referencing? Interest income, looking decent. Custodial fees, you can see those. That's actually less than I thought it would be with all the ETFs coming online. Other subscription and services, total subscription and services. Nice. Yeah, it looks like transaction revenue is the driver, right? That's the big money right there. And institutional was the biggest part. So it's not so much the custody that they're getting a lot of money on. It's the transactions that they're getting the money on, whether it's institution or consumer. That's interesting to note. I'm not going to read all this. All right, let me see here. Trading volume, again, we already kind of know. Yeah, it's up. It's doing good. Most of the volume, altcoins, 57%. These guys have a lot of altcoins now compared to what they used to have. They used to have a very small list. When you go back to like 2017, 18, that list was so tiny, and now it's huge. And that's probably why they're getting almost 2/3 of their revenue coming from altcoin transactions. I mean, more than that. I mean, 70% if you include Ethereum as an altcoin. That's beautiful. Does FASB hurt stocks that hold BTC during bear market? No. The new accounting rules for Bitcoin changes it from intangible to a tangible asset. So the new FASB ruling that will completely go into effect at the end of this year, but can voluntarily go into effect now, is helping every Bitcoin company. I made a video about this like a little over a week ago, trying to get people, or actually maybe it was a week ago, trying to get people to understand why they needed to get into miners and Bitcoin companies like Square, Coin, MicroStrategy has launched like crazy. All of these are because of the FASB rules. Before, the Bitcoin that they held had to be discounted to whatever the lowest value was at that particular quarter, which sucks with a volatile asset like Bitcoin. There's a decent chance that, especially in a bear market, you're just going to keep having to report that way lower than maybe it is at the time of the quarter ending. And so the odds are it's going to make you look worse. So nobody wanted to custody Bitcoin as a corporation. Only the diehards, only the Michael Saylors, only with Square. These are the guys, and again, like Tesla. These guys that are willing to like go crazy on innovation and try new things. They're the ones that would hold it. But it was a detriment to them. It's not anymore. This is a part of the Trinity, the triple halving that I keep talking about. FASB is a big part of it, and people aren't even realizing it. Total subscription and services. Again, you can see that subscription is actually making up a decent amount. That's really cool. I think that number, I think both these numbers, transactions are going to scream higher, and subscriptions are too, as people try and avoid fees, because they cap it, and I don't even know if it really turns out. It does turn out to be worth it, but these guys charge fees, man. They make a lot of money off of it. With Binance and a bunch of these other exchanges getting wiped out, these guys were the benefactors of all of that. Total operating expenses are much better than they used to be. Much better. I think stock-based comp and a bunch of other stuff. Boy, they're really disclosing a lot. I like the way this looks. Very visual, too. But you can see their expenses are way better. All right. Oh, the custodial fees kick in 2024 Q1. Well, that'll be fun, because they're already making a ton off transactions. I can't wait to see that come in. That'll be cool. All right, what are they at right now, too? I haven't even... Let me go back here. Up 6.5. Hey, that's good. We'll take it. I don't know how anybody... I mean, this has run a lot, right? How much did we just run? How much did we run recently with this guy? Let's go back here. What are we running at, coin? Yeah, that's not bad, right? We can't hate this. Can we hate the run? Can we hate 400%? Oh, 420. Funny. Yeah, can you hate 420% off the bottom? I mean, Bitcoin, Hasn't even doubled. 422. Bummer. Broke it. But yeah, I don't think we can hate the run. And I think it's still up. It's still up. And I think the way this is forming, it's probably just going to be another launch pad higher as long as Bitcoin can hold up. All right. I don't want to read all this crap. All right, here we go. Charts. This is the stuff I like. USD resources walk. All right, yeah, money markets. Lots of money in there. 3.68 billion. God, can you imagine that? Think about that. We've got 3.68 billion in what Coinbase is holding in money market funds just because everybody's doing that. And all these companies are going to end up pulling that money out as rates go down. They might lock in some long dated treasuries too, but money will be moving around. It'll be sloshing. All right, let me see here. I don't know if there's any much more I want to go into on this one. Let's see, what's IREN doing? Anybody look at that? That's all right. Coinbase will get their chance. Do you personally own coin stock? I don't. I never got into coin. The only reason I don't own Coinbase stock is when I was interested in putting more money into crypto. It was at a time where miners, I basically went long on calls, like with CleanSpark when it was in the dollars, and I did really well. Yeah, we can look at Meta in a little bit here though. And I did really well off of those, and they were just much better contracts. I could get like 6 to 8x or something, and Coinbase was giving me like 2x versus 6 to 8. So I went with things like CleanSpark and Bitfarms, and I got long calls when they were down at their lows, and that was a much better play, at least initially, because again they ran harder and they had a greater multiplier behind them. But that will change. Everything gets their turn. Like right now, Iris Energy is up 661. So like I said, they outperformed. They did better. And it looks like they're up 0.52% in after hours. I don't know if their earnings are released or not. I'm kind of lazy here. Let me see. I'm probably just going to cheat and go over here. See what other people have reported. These guys do have earnings, right? Did they release in the morning, or are they just slow? All right, I'm not checking on this one. All right, so I think we covered what the gist was. We see that coin's doing all right, and it looks like they had a good quarter, and I think the FASB rulings helped them a lot, and I think they're probably going to continue to launch and go higher. Let's look at other stuff. I'm bored with this topic. Let me see here. Back to Tesla real quick. Let me see. Oh my gosh. I love this so much. Look at this. We're up almost 7%, including after hours. Tesla's going to fill that gap real quick. And the amount of strength we're seeing is actually super impressive. Maybe we can even get past, this 214 range or up to 231 before we start to get some resistance. So this thing could go higher. Super happy that I bought a bunch of long calls on this and in Rivian. Thoughts on the Apple spike? The Apple spike. Let's go back. Let's look at this one. It's just easier to pull up everything at once. Did it spike in after hours? I guess I'm not sure what you mean there. IREN, I think the report's in... Oh, report's in 30 minutes. Okay, we can check it out. All right, let me go back over here. So, yeah, let me know what you're talking about with IREN. And then I'm going to go over here and start pulling up other charts. I want to show a few of the ones that I'm loving lately. Let's see the unloved stuff too. Let's go to PayPal. I want to see how that's doing. Got to cover the portfolio real quick, and then we can look at other charts. And then if we have time, I might pull up that earnings call too. But I want to get here first. Okay, so we're above volume. I talked about this yesterday. We closed above the 100. That's cool on PayPal. And then we're above the peak volume here and trying to find our way up to this gap, probably like in the 60 range, 60.56 tomorrow. And then I'd love to see us get above the 61.87 mark, so about 62. If we could do that, I'd be feeling really confident that we're finally getting our chance to break out. All right, let's look at some others. Let's look at... It looks like Square. Let's check you out. I'm going to roll through FinTech real quick and get just the main staples of my portfolio. Again, I love this. We actually closed, I believe, above the 50 moving average. That has not happened at all, except one time on January 29th. Otherwise, though, we closed above it again today, and it looks like it's up in after hours. Again, all signs are pointing right now to us just seeing continued. Oh, no, I forgot about this. 1 second. My window's crazy. I can't close any of my browsers. I have to leave them alone. Otherwise, it streams across my window. So we're just going to get a lot of tabs. All right, 1 second here. Yeah, we could look at Bitfarms too. Let me just get through the FinTech, and then we'll jump over to more crypto-related stuff, and then we can start looking at other charts too. All right, SoFi. I'll pull them up. See how we closed here today? It looks good. Again, above this peak volume mound. This is great. We bounced off a previous resistance line that we had fallen through before. We also found support on the 50 moving average on the weekly, and then we jumped above the .618, and now we're trading back up above this thing again. Last time we had a little bit of bouncing here, and then we just kind of trended down, almost like a really, really long bear flag, and then popped back up, and now we're finding support up here again. It's just this, it's nice. SoFi it just has that look of a rounding bottom. It's a beautiful sign, and I think that we could be testing up again. It's the .786 around the 950 level, and if we can get above that again, I'm pretty sure that we're off to the races. All right, let's pull up what else we got here. I'm going to pull up Hood real quick too. Talk to that. All right, let me do this. I'm going to pull this up on the weekly. We got so much going on here. So we closed up 0.3%. It was actually down earlier in the day. I love that. You know what? I will actually zoom in here. I love that we're testing up against this first resistance line and still just hitting it. I love that we closed there. I love that in after hours we're right at it or above it. I still think this looks great. I actually was perfectly okay mentally, and I was talking about this yesterday, of it dropping back down and hitting the .618 because it's never went up in the history here of this company and found support at that level. It's always just broken back through here, going all the way back to like April of 2022 or February even. So this is a first. We're seeing history with this company, and with all the positives they have going on, man, I think it's gonna be a rock star. All right, I'm gonna do ARKG real quick because again, this is my baby. It made me a bunch of money today. I think it made me $50,000. So this, in and of itself, with a small amount of capital, was being very kind to me. All right, let me see here. So I want to just draw this back because I want to, yeah, see, look at that. This is so beautiful. It's hard to see, but we are right above peak volume on ARKG. So again, just a great chart. Previous resistance line going all the way back up here a long ways. And it tried to get a hold above it once and just crashed underneath of it. Couldn't even find support. And this time we grinded along it. Now we're back above peak volumes. We really want to race to 35.61. I'm going to make a bunch of money when that happens. This thing's just going to keep going. The chart looks beautiful. It looks ready to rock. And I think it's its opportunity. All right. Let me see. I'm going to pull up PLTR real quick. And then I'll jump into some cryptos. IREN with 42 million in revenue versus 38. That's pretty good, but they probably had FASB rules too, and if they would have had Bitcoin holdings, they would have benefited from them. So I don't know, man. IREN is just I don't know. I don't know what makes them so great. I don't love their financials or anything. All right, let's see. Let's check the daily. Maybe even, I see. This is actually not horrible for Palantir. Look at how it's testing that resistance line. It's really trying to work it, man. I don't know. I think Palantir could still go for 30. I think it's got a little bit of steam left in it. Probably be pretty done by then because there's a lot of negative, there's a lot of divergence hitting it. So I don't know if it'll go much above 30. But again, S&P inclusion. I remember Tesla back in the day. It did crazy stuff. So we'll see. Oh, I do want to point out Rivian real quick, and then I'll get back to the miners. So again, this chart, I love this chart. We're above peak volume, and this thing can run, and it's dropped hard. It's dropped hard, and they've got a new version of their vehicle, the R2, coming out, It's supposed to lower costs substantially and make it to where they're not just burning money. It will give, I think, a lot of hype back into the stock. And again, it went down 91%. That seems like a big number. Not that it wasn't, I mean, it was overhyped, right? It was overhyped previously. It deserved to get beat up a little bit, but 91% is a big number. And if this newer, lower cost vehicle does anything, it'll be great. And I don't know if you can see in this bottom right corner, but these guys have been beating earnings. They've been making good choices. I'm going to make a separate video about them, but I just wanted to throw that out there. I am excited about what they're doing. Oh, I do want to point out, I'm going to pull up Ethereum from the crypto side, and then I'm going to look at altcoins real quick. And then we'll hit Bitcoin miners, and then we can do whatever else. All right, Ethereum. This is a great. Oh, I think I did cover this. No, I did right at the beginning. But you can see this thing is still running, and it looks good. All right, so skip you. Next. Let's do the altcoins. Let's bring this up. So again, for the day, there's mixed results here, but I would say all in all pretty positive. And if you go back a week, I mean, these are pretty good gains for a week. And then a month, you can see some big ones like Pith and Stacks and just a few others just crushing it for the month. So we're definitely seeing strength there too. All right. Let me do CleanSpark. The Shiba Inu run today. All right, so CleanSpark is seeing resistance. We have bearish divergence across the daily and I'm sure weekly by now too. And you can see if we look here, we tried to get above and stay above the .618, but today we didn't make it. And did we make it the other day? I think we actually did. Yeah, okay. So one day above, one day below. So it's fighting to try and figure out path. Bitcoin will be the decider on it. But again, if this thing doesn't have a lot left, so in its way, I could see it doing pretty good as far as a run. Let's see what see, look, there's just no volumes left. There's very little. There's old trading volume, but not relevant trading volume because it was a different company over here. But if I look right here, it's just, if it gets above the .618, it's game over. Like this thing's going to start flying. So I would look to see what Bitcoin does in the days ahead. We could go all the way down to 46,000 on Bitcoin. Doesn't really matter. We're in that 46 to 56 range. But CleanSpark looks strong still, surprisingly. All right, Bitfarms. All right, Bitfarms actually looks pretty darn good. Do I not have a... Yeah, okay, there it is. So yeah, Bitfarms is actually holding on better, I think, than CleanSpark is as far as where it landed today. I don't know why my screen's being buggy here. Please don't crash. Oh, now it's doing the weird thing. I'm going to reload this, though. Just see if I can get it back. There we go. Cool. Yeah, so CleanSpark actually, Bitfarms in after hours has already popped. So it's actually doing really good. And I think that we're going to test 395 soon. And here's the thing. This is like some of these others. All the volume is underneath of us. All of it, guys. All of it. So this whole thing is acting as support, which is great. Here, let's see what the damage was on Riot. I exited that down like, oh, I don't want to do this or it'll get weird. I exited that down about, I don't know, 1.5%, 2% or something on the day. So is that still a smart idea? I asked it to get handed to me. Oh yeah, not bad. All right, so they were down like 5.4% or something. So I saved myself a good 3.5%, maybe more. They could bounce though. Again, we've closed underneath this resistance line, but we could totally test it again if Bitcoin wants to take off. They're up in after hours too, so it could do all right. All right, what else do we want to look at? I want to look at IREN's actual fundamentals. I want to compare this real quick. Maybe I'll do this. And oh, you know what? I'm going to do this with a few of these. So, real quick, just look at. There was a massive amount of dilution on CleanSpark, right? They had to dilute a lot. Let me actually see if I can expand this and get it to where I can see this. Yeah, okay, better. They had to dilute a lot, right? Because they've got 20 exahash that they're trying to do. They're at 14 right now. They're 2 exahash above Riot. But you can see like Bitcoin production is great. It's record setting, right, for Q4 2023. They had wonderful revenues because of FASB, and their net income looked good from it too, just from their balance sheet doing so well. And then the total cost mined per Bitcoin is going down. Operating expenses are plummeting. This is just, look at this. You got cash going up. This is such a beautiful setup. Their hash rate is great. We look at other key metrics. Look at their Bitcoin holdings. This is what I love these guys. They're just so clean. I mean, they're ramping up Bitcoin holdings, which is really, really smart. That's what you want to do. They should have started earlier. They should have started like in the depths of the bear market, in my opinion, right over here. But I think they balance things pretty good. And Bitcoin produced per day looks great. Electricity costs are remaining stable. They're operating, their revenue right now, if you look over here, their revenue versus operating expenses is a thing of beauty. It was just chopping for a while and not being super great, but it's diverging so much right now. It's just gorgeous. CleanSpark is gorgeous. They're so well run. Everything that you can think. Revenue growth, 165% year over year. And then you look at like Riot. This is another reason why I'm out, right? Even though I was wrong about the Mount Mind. That was embarrassing. But look here. So they'll be reporting soon enough. They had like 500 and something in Q1. So that's better because in all of Q3, they only had 1,100. So, but look here, this trend, I don't love this trend, how it's going down. From what we just saw, look at this. Since really 2021, they just are going down. And that is not what we just saw with CleanSpark. And they're diluting, I don't think aggressively enough. They have a lot of cash. What are they doing with it? At least buy Bitcoin at 15K. Operating expenses are not really going down. If anything, they've trended up over the short term, but they're just not going down quickly. Cash flow is going negative. Net income is negative. We'll see if that changes in Q4. Probably will. They have a big Bitcoin stash, which is a metric I'll show you in a second. Mining hash rate is not growing quick enough. I don't like this. Total cost mined per Bitcoin is going up. Again, new miners will help, but right now, just not looking super great. They curtail too, so that helps with revenues. But you can see Bitcoin holdings kind of isn't going up, but we saw in CleanSpark that they're doing that. And electricity cost mined per BTC, like that's a bummer. That's going up. And again, they just don't have good operating leverage. When you look at their revenue versus expenses, it's not great. So when I compare this, when I look at them as similar market caps, this is a little bit lower, I think, than CleanSpark now. And then I look at CleanSpark's financials and I look at this, I'm not even interested. Let me see what IREN looks like. Let's do another comparison. Again, I should actually have two of these windows open. But, so we got CleanSpark here. Again, like everything up and to the right, except for costs, down and to the right. Cash up and to the right, net income up and to the right, operating expenses down and to the right. Like this is all good stuff. But then you look at something like IREN. Let's see how they're doing. And again, what did let me look over here real quick. What did these guys net? They netted about $30 million. Okay, cool. For a quarter. That's cool. So let's look at IREN. IREN, wow, revenues are just going down. Net income, not great last quarter. Again, they have yet to report. They have not been diluting shares. I guess that's good, but they're burning through cash. Their operating expenses are flat, but they also aren't increasing their revenue. They've had year-over-year growth, and unlike CleanSpark that had 163% revenue growth, these guys are negative 57. Historical margins don't look great. Operating expenses, their expenses are going up while revenue is going down. I don't know, man. Yeah, Mara looks great on here. Mara looks great. I don't like the fact that they don't complete all their filings. There's a lot of little things I don't like. 671% revenue growth year over year. But again, the problems I have are a short report from a year ago and the fact that there's a number of filings that they just haven't done, which is really sketchy. And I don't love the fact that isn't being done when you're a publicly traded mining company that's beholden to the SEC. Anyway, but from a Bitcoin production standpoint, they had a massive ramp over the last year. Their revenues ramped solid. On here, they look amazing. Mining hash rate has kind of petered off. But again, they're looking to expand as well. Their debt was my biggest concern a while ago. but they took care of that last quarter, or at least half of it. Operating expenses are starting to trend kind of sideways to down. Net income, though, was not great. It was only 64 million. So it's about double. So that's the weird part, right? So you got about double the net income of what CleanSpark reported this last quarter. But these guys haven't reported yet for this one. So once we get Q4, they could have a decent number, but they also had some issues where they had miners shut off for a period of time. So we'll see how that goes. The big thing that they do right is they hold a ton of Bitcoin, and they bought some recently too. I actually think that that's a super smart move. If there's anything they're doing right, it's buying Bitcoin. I think that that's a brilliant move. So they did this last cycle too. Last cycle, my opinion, these guys sucked. They never got anything done when they said they were going to. I didn't love the management, even though I love listening to the CEO. I don't like it when people tell me they're going to do things and then they don't get done. But at the last cycle, they just bought Bitcoin like crazy. I think their mining pretty much sucked, but they bought so much Bitcoin that they made a bunch of money, and it really helped them heading into the cycle. And they're going to have that benefit again. Again, if these guys aren't total idiots, and there isn't like weird stuff going on, which is the part I'm afraid of. If those things don't play out, this one will make a ton of money because they have a huge Bitcoin stash, the biggest out there. It dwarfs Riot, it dwarfs CleanSpark, even though they've added a bunch. It's like 2.5, 3x. So it's a big stash. So this can benefit them a lot going forward. So these guys, if there's not weird, fraudulent, strange stuff going on that I would never accuse them of because I don't want to get sued by people, if that stuff isn't real, then this will do really well. Oh, visualstocks.com. Let me type it in chat. It's my friend Alejandro's. He's such a cool dude. He's on X, and he'll make all kinds of changes. He's a great guy. All right, let's see what else we got here. What else we got for requests? Coin, get coin right before closing, or got coin, just sold. All right, cool. CleanSpark is a diamond. Mara is too. As long as they're legit, you can make a lot of money with them. But that's the part that scares me. I just don't feel... Oh, Wolf. Yeah, I can take a look at Wolf. Sorry about that. I'm trying to get better at looking at chat. I'm still such a noob. All right. So Wolf, I love looking at this just at a glance. I love the revenue. It hasn't reported on Q4 yet. 391% revenue growth year over year. Love that. Net income is pretty red. So revenues are good. Net income sucks. Debts are higher than I would like. Again, I want to see more green than red. I want to see bonds. I want to see cash. I want to see lower debt, because if they have higher debt than they have net income, then we have this issue where we're going to be diluting a lot of shares like they started to do in this last year. I could see more of that, especially with the halving coming. I could see these guys burning a lot of shares. So if you don't like dilution, you're not going to like these guys, because they have to, right? They have to, because they're losing money. And I'm willing to bet like their energy costs. I don't know if we have that in here. Yeah, see, look at there. So operating expenses shows diving, revenue coming up. It looks good right here, right? This last little part. But that negative net income, hopefully FASB helps them on their earnings and they get a pop into the positive, because they're going to need it. These guys don't have the newest mining equipment. You should follow Sebastian Ski to get all of that detail, all the way down to like what kind of hash rate they have, all their facilities, what miners they're running. He's got all that stuff. It's awesome. It's a wealth of information. But from what I remember looking at it last, these guys don't fare well at all when the price, or when the issuance gets cut in half here in April, because they just don't have new enough equipment. So even though they had the strong revenue growth, I just don't know that they're getting good enough pricing on their energy. Their operating expenses aren't that great, even though they're starting to come down for this debt. So that's why I don't like them. I know they're smaller, but I don't like indebted companies that have to dilute a lot right now and haven't invested in a lot of new equipment. My take. All right. Could you take a look at RAP? Not much of a rapper, but I'll try. It's a dad joke. That's all I got. Oh, I should probably, I'll need to make this chart. 1 second. What is rap? Tell us about rap. Yeah, I know he does. And I don't totally understand why. I know there's a number of people do. Mike Alfred loves him too. Oh, no, dang it. Gotta remember what I'm doing. I need to make a copy. And then, what is this called again? Rap? Rap. What does rap do? Let's find out. Rap Technologies. Woof, they got smoked. I do not like that. What was that? Why did this happen? Something that was bad. I don't know what that was. What was that? It just gapped up and immediately got crushed. Is that a news? I don't even see a news event. That's weird. These guys are burning so much money. All right, we're just going to give this... We're going to forget the chart because the chart doesn't say much if the fundamentals suck. Let's look at it. So, I don't know what this is about. I don't know what this is like. Why? Why are we way down here, guys? Why are we up here? Why are we way down here? Why are we back up here? What's going on there? I like the growth, but again, net income, I don't like burning money. It's not a huge amount of money. And let's see, what do they have for cash? They don't have a... Well, no, they're all right. They're not indebted. That's okay. Cash flow went negative. I don't know a lot about this company. I don't know what we're looking at, but I don't like it when operating expenses are more costly than the revenue. I don't love that. But maybe you have something with these guys. It looks like historical margins are tightening. Maybe you know something about this company that makes it better. Let me just do this. I will draw a fib just to see if there's anything interesting there. I don't like that it's under the .786. If it, I would have liked to see it get above 6, the 610 range, peak volumes. Just because I don't know what's happening next. This is such a weird chart. It like climbed a wall, fell off a cliff, made its measured move all the way back up, right? Like this mean reverted already. And so I just don't know what it wants to do next. And I don't know enough about the company, and I don't like them losing money. Did you buy something after selling? No, I just got cash, which I don't hate right now. There's so many asymmetric opportunities that I'm invested in, and I've made almost $1 million in a week. Yeah, I can check some of these others. I'm going to check them, these Bit Digital and Bit Deers. This is another one where I think both of these have high expenses. And I don't like, again, like, so BT, Bit Digital. I just don't like, what have they been doing? They've been diluting. Why isn't our revenue going up? Why is the net income still in the red? Cash went down a lot. Got a little bit higher. Not a ton of money. And then they have older miner equipment. I don't know. Maybe they won't go bankrupt. That would be good if they don't go bankrupt. BitDeer. I have to type this one up. BitDeer. Is that? Uh-oh. Anybody know how to spell BitDeer? Why isn't this working? Hey, oh, maybe I need to refresh. I'm going to try that real quick. Yeah, I can look at hymns and some other stuff. I'm actually... Why aren't you working? I don't know why I can't look this one up in here. It is BTDR, right? Yeah, I don't know why it's not there. I'll have to see. I'll have to reach out to Alejandro. I've never had a stock not show. So I don't know about that one. But Bit Digital, I don't love that, man. All right, I'm going to look at members, Sana. I don't know what they do. Let's pull up this stuff. Let's see what this looks like first before I dig into it. Why don't they have any revenue? Oh, is this like some speculative... What do these guys do? Sana Biotech. These are so hard to gauge. I can look... Yeah, let me look at the chart. The chart is literally the only thing I can look at because they have no revenue. And if I don't know things about the company, SMCI hit 1,000. Retarded. Not surprised, though. I think I looked at this the other day. Let me just see if I have it in my list. No, I didn't. Okay, I'm gonna make a copy. Maybe I didn't save it. Sana. Yeah, SMCI is just a beast, but that house of cards is going to come tumbling down, man. Eventually. And if it doesn't, then we've got a lot to look forward to, because if AI is that real and we don't see Nvidia and these things start to drop, then we got some promising days ahead. We got a breakout. Oh wait, no, I should actually pull up the right stock. It's just Bitcoin. Sana Biotech. Ah, it started to run. That's good. So we kind of already had a mean reversion to the neckline here, right? So the question is it going higher? It can go higher. This thing, I mean, real resistance doesn't kick in until about 1450 to 16. And let me do this is actually a decent one to follow. I just have to do a retracement. Fib retracement. We don't have enough of a history because everything biotech got crushed. All right, yeah, so it looks like we do have a fib at 1244 and then 1450 roughly. So I would expect resistance to start to kick in there. But this would have been more fun. This would have been more fun down here because we could see that there's bullish divergence that was formed when it had price action down. So I would have liked this one a lot more in the 296 range versus 846. But again, we could still run, let's just see here. We could still run anywhere from 48 to 80%, really. So that, I mean, you can't shake a stick at that. I'm going to save this chart real quick here. What do we want to look at next? All right, yeah, I'll check that one out more. I'll see if I can understand more fundamentally about it. Hey, what's up, Tom? I'm sure Chris is here. He's my friend. He's my buddy. All right, NVEX. Let me see what we got here. Nope, don't have it. Need to copy it. All right, eventually I'm going to have a sweet-ass catalog of all these stocks, and then I'll get to learn them more, and then it'll get fun. Because then we can roll through stuff real fast, and we'll learn from each other. But I got to say, we are finding a few things that are interesting. All right, let me see here. Probably good to draw a Fib-based trend extension on this one. Let's see, what time frame? We're probably using... I mean, this is kind of weird. Let me see. We'll use here. All right, so we're above the previous fib, the .236. We're above peak volumes. And then, let's see here. We could run to the 1363 range to 1408. That's where resistance is going to be, right up here. I might try and draw something like that so I just know the next time when I go into these. CRSP, that one I know I have. Let's switch time frames though. So this one, yeah, again, all the unloved biotechs. This is why I love ArcG, man, because I'm getting a multiplier with my options. You guys have to check out that video if you haven't seen it. So I can get 8 to 10x pretty easy off my options plays. And biotech was super unloved. And so, like I said, it's the days of the unloved investments. So small caps, Tesla, EV manufacturers. We're seeing that market breadth expansion, and it's great. So yeah, these guys could go to 96, 97, and even up here towards the .618, which would be crazy to see. But it can happen. This thing can scream higher, man, because it's got all the moving averages underneath of it. It's very beautiful. Meta. Yeah, I can do Meta. I mean, it's got the wind underneath its wings. .618. This will probably, if you own a Meta, I would start doing covered calls up here above 600. Maybe we could get to 620 or something, but we've got a long-term upward trending resistance line, and we've got the mega bounce. Mega bounce. I mean, we're up 450%. I actually sold my stuff like up over here in the 188, but I made like 600% off of some of my calls with Meta last year. But man, I wish I would have held on to them a little bit longer. Anyway, but yeah, this is great. So if we get up near the 600 range to 625 range by some chance in the next month or so, I would either, I don't know that I'd put puts on it, but I would do covered calls on this one because you could probably make a decent amount of income. So I think that one would be cool. All right, let me see who else I missed here. I think I missed a few members, so I want to get better at that. I got a member who asked for new. We're going to pull up new. New is a beast. It is the Latin SoFi, but it's, I mean, SoFi is the English new. Because new is a badass. Yeah, okay. So I said we were probably going to go up, and it looks like we're going to. We're going to mean revert. We're going to go right up to 1229. We're closing the neckline on this one. And then maybe we take a break, or maybe that just keeps going, because these guys have financials that are just ridiculous. It's a beautiful company. All right, let me see who else. I'm going to look at SMCI real quick, because I just want to see what that looks like. These chip companies. I might pull up NVIDIA too. They're just so nuts. Let's see how stupid this... Jesus. What? I guess. Whatever. This can't get to the next fib. It can't get to 3,500. This is the definition of a parabolic move. The worst part is, though, you can't even short this thing. The short interest is so high, you can't even make money off of it. So it's not even worth doing. It's ridiculous, man. This is just nuts. Whatever. Let's see what else we got here. We did Sana, Index, Meta, SMCI. What else we got? CRISPR we did. TSM. We can look at that. I don't know if I have that one. I'm actually going to make a copy. Good old Taiwan Semiconductor. Great investment if China doesn't invade them and turn them into a bunch of communists. It made it back, though. I mean, that's awesome. 58 to 130. Again, though, I think this is going to suffer. They're going to suffer just because of the threat of communist, country destroying them. Even just blockading them. Just putting a bunch of ships around them and making it to where they can't send their semiconductors. It's basically an act of war, but it's not going to be great. So I'm not excited about these guys. They just have got too many problems, man. China is no joke. If you don't believe me, listen to what Xi talks about all the time. He's not a good person. All right, NVIDIA is still pretty powerful. Even though it came back today, I mean, could it make it to 1182? That would be stupid. It shouldn't. But, I mean, it also shouldn't have ran from 267 in 2012 to what we have. No, let's not go back that far. From $100 in, how long was that? October 22nd. So that's already a decent run. But, I mean, this could get stupid. It depends on what their growth looks like. We know they have massive demand. The question is, can they meet it? If they can meet it, and we know they've got people booked out at least a year, and that's not even that's factoring in with AMD trying to be a competitor. If they don't succeed, and I mean, maybe it just keeps going. It's nuts to think of. I don't do BABA. Don't do Chinese stocks, man. It is against my core beliefs. All right, Beam. And I don't go against my core beliefs to make money. I just don't. Let me see. I got to make a copy of this one. Any other big stock names or anything that we should be looking at that's just going to make people a lot of money? That's one of the things I'd like to do in here. So Beam looks, let me see here. Let me pull that up. So some of these that have like had big runs, sure, we can look at them. But stuff like this, oh, okay, so we're getting into the genomics thing, or what is this, health and biotech? Okay. I want to look, before I get into that, I want to go over here and look at what their financials look like, just because I like this interface better. Revenues were going up. Revenues started going down a couple quarters ago. Net income is not good. Cash is burning, but it's slow. Operating expenses have started to moderate. Growth year over year, only 9%. So these are like a lot, and operating expenses are rising while revenues are falling. I can't say I love that just right out of the gate. Looking at the chart, I think it's actually done pretty good when you factor that in. It's up like almost 100%. So I'd need to see something fundamentally better, or know that there's some product coming out, or know something that gives me an edge for me to care any more than that. All right, I'm going to save this one. Let me pull up this next one here. Oh, I should actually make a copy. I don't know what NTLA is, but I'm going to look at it real quick. Yes, so if you can, guys, definitely check out visual stocks or something like it and try and look at the financials the way I do with a visual reference. It helps a lot. Like, okay, let's look at this one and see what this is. Because some of these are really hard to know. Like, if they are a biotech and they don't have a real product yet and they're just burning money, unless you know something I don't know, unless you know why they're just amazing, then it's not even worth really talking about. Because it really boils down to the fundamentals. Because they don't have any money, right? They have no revenue. Again, revenue sideways, net income burning, 122 million a quarter. Woof, don't love that. Luckily, they have enough to survive for like over a year and a half, maybe, as long as they keep diluting shares. And super negative cash flow, operating expenses going up. It's like everything's wrong, right? Everything's wrong with this one. So if you're doing charity work and you believe what they're doing, that's great. I wouldn't put money towards it. What's the RSI for NVIDIA? Stupid. Rocket Lab, I can do that. MU, here, I don't want to skip all the... I've said this before, but people that are, did I do JWN? I don't know if I did. Did I? If I didn't do JWN, let me know. But the people, as long as it isn't China, if you're in chat and you're a member that pays at least $3 a month, you get dibs on the stock stuff. The others come later, but again, it's one of those things where these guys get it first. And where was I? Which one was I on? ADA. I'll pull up ADA real quick here. Maybe put that in there too. ADA. Oof, round trip on this one. Looks like we're getting ready to break out. Let me see something here. How far does... Nah, that's far enough. Let's do a trend-based extension off of this, because that was kind of like the previous low over here to the new high. Back down to the low. This thing's got a ways to go. The question is, what are the fundamentals on it? I don't know if I see, like, Solana, you've got just a ton of volume. But again, these things usually do come back, but the chain better have some activity on it. And that's... Somebody like Invest Answers is great at showing you that. I haven't paid a lot of attention to ADA because I know he isn't. So I've outsourced that to him. But this thing could go up. It could do this, right? It could do this right here. It could do a 50%. But I also think Solana and Ethereum are close to doing that too. And if you ask me which one would I rather own, I would pick Solana first and Ethereum next. MU. Let's take a look here. I think I have MU. No. Hopefully I think I got like the Uber version of TradingView. Hopefully I do. Otherwise I'll have to upgrade it. Because I'm going to start saving so many charts on here. They're going to start yelling at me. I know active connections. Oh, Micron. Okay. Yeah, these guys are probably benefiting too from everything that's going on. It's pretty much the... Do you do chips? I love chips. Let's give you a bunch of money. This looks almost like Bitcoin. You got that neutered top up here where we double topped. Let's do this. Let's draw it out to here. All right, underneath the fib for the .5, you can see where we touched the .618. Again, this is not astrology. You can see where there's resistance. And the .618 is the golden retracement zone. This does not look as powerful as some of the other chip companies. And I don't know enough about the fundamentals to be able to tell you if they're justified. All right. But I'm hoping to learn. I did pull up IREN earlier. I don't totally love it. Did they do well in after hours? Let me see here. Did they end up doing something right? No, they're down 14%. So again, when I tell you there's certain miners I like and ones that I don't, Iris Energy is an example of that. I don't like this one, and I don't like losing money. So I guess the bright note is they're testing the fib again, but this has definitely been an underperformer. I don't care if Mike Alfred and a bunch of other people pitch it. I don't like companies that don't hold Bitcoin. They could have had those FASB rules helping them. Oh no, wait, they're down here. Yeah, they could have had the FAS rules helping them and benefiting them, but they didn't hold Bitcoin. So, and evidently they're just not doing a good job in their financials. So I'll check that later, but yeah, not impressive. All right, PayPal. I did look at PayPal. Well, did I look at PayPal? I don't remember anymore. Let me pull it up. I looked at Ethereum a little bit ago. It looks great. So ETH's going to do good too. Yeah, I do think I did PayPal, but I'll just go over it real quick again. Real fast. So the thing I love here is we're back above the 100 moving average. We're in this little zone here. I'd like to see us get above this volume peak. That is right about at 61, 67. Ideally, though, we get above 62, where the 200 moving average is in orange here. We'd be above all moving averages if we can get above that 62 range. And then if we get above 64, it's off to the races. Like, it's time. I'll do STNE. I think that's the only one. Yeah, I'll do STNE. Let me make sure I save these. I don't want to have to update these things again later. I don't know if I have STNE. Is that like Stone something? Is that like an... Yeah, I think I know which one that is. No, I don't have it. That's like... Is that in Latin America too? Is that the one I'm thinking of? Yeah, see, I don't know anything about these, man. I was interested in this one, but I outsourced my research for FinTech to Tanner with Future Finance. Or Future Invest, sorry. And this doesn't look bad from a charting perspective. I would say this looks good. And I just don't know enough about this company, and then I know newest competition, but let's look. This is interesting, right? Like, this is pretty depressed over the years. Let's see. Let's run a fib on this, and let's look at their actual fundamentals, because I am curious. You got me curious. Is that the right line? Yeah, okay. All right, so we hit the .618. That's the golden retracement zone, but it doesn't seem to care. It seems like it still wants to go up. So that's actually good. So you could see a pop based on, we don't have a lot of historical volume, so we could get to the .786 pretty quick. And that's the 25 range. That's not bad. Where resistance is going to kick in is usually the 200 moving average. I don't know the fundamentals about the company. Let's look it up, though. You got me curious. This is one I followed for a while. Kind of wish I would have held some of it because I think it's doing better. Revenue growth is going up, but year over year it says it's up 18%. So not super stellar, like compared to a new, but their cash is going up. Their shares outstanding, they're not diluting a lot. Operating expenses are sideways. We can see the swing from net income negative to positive. That's good. And that operating leverage, I love that. I love seeing this going up so much versus operating expense. And then stock-based comp hasn't really changed. That's good. So this fundamentally, this looks okay. I don't know a lot more about their business than that because I couldn't find much. And then Tanner couldn't find it either. And that always concerns me when I don't have super great visibility into something. Yeah, IREN sucked, I guess, huh? Again, that's why I'm not invested in it. That's why Bit Digital, Bit Deer, I wouldn't be in any of that crap, guys. I don't even like Wolf. And Wolf looks better than some of this stuff. But again, I don't know that their operating expenses are as good as they should be. Any chance you can pull up Grok? If Grok is a shitcoin, I don't think I'm going to do it. LXRX, let me check. I don't know what that is, but I'll look. I'm getting to the point where I'm running out of space. So I might, oh, here, I better say this. I might end up calling it in a little bit just because I am running out of space. And I need to close some of these tabs. And we did a lot today. I think we started at like 3 today, so we're about an hour and 16 in. LXRX. This is Lexicon Pharmaceuticals. You guys are all about the biotech and stuff. Oof, woof, woof, woof. Oh, what just turned on? Something turned on. I gotta turn it off. Where is it? I don't know where I'm getting audio, guys. I gotta find it. I got so many tabs. Maybe this is a sign from the heavens that I should kill this stream. I think it is. Alright, anyway. Lexicon, this company is losing tons of money. And their net margin is horrific. And it looks really bad. It's a horrible chart. I might take a further look at this later, but I think we're going to end the stream here since I got some crazy audio going. But this is a horrible looking chart. This is the kind of thing, this is like a penny stock that'll make you poor. I'll take a little bit deeper of a look, but I did Bitfarms earlier, so it's in here, and it looks, the stock short term looks good. Yeah, I know it's playing, so I'm ending. No, I'm not sick. I'm good, man. I'm really good. But I'm gonna kill since I got this weird background music going and I don't know how to kill it. So you guys take it easy. Love ya.